getting this arm really nice and high, mainly to eliminate the shoulder from the choke. So I'm like here, I'm covering it up right here, making sure that like the angle is right so I can possibly just walk into the hip. And it's gonna be like a choke plus like a neck crack a little bit. In order for Frank to get out of this, he's gonna wanna, bring his elbow down. So even though if I have a lock and he brings the elbow down, you can see that now his shoulder is just kind of like in the choke. Gives him some time to breathe. And then now he can also reach across with his left hand, look for that grip, maybe even go for an arm bar. But once he has this hand, I don't know, my anaconda is pretty much gone. You can strip it, and then now I no longer have closure on his neck. And then once he has that, he can start rotating and just coming up on top. That's bad. If it's really, really tight, like I have my hand all the way up his shoulder, he's just gonna have to fight it. Meaning like, he'll have to find some way to bring his arm down. Grabbing the leg is a good option, and then reaching all the way with his left hand to try and find my grip. Straight open the closure, and then start rotating. So it's a combination of a grip fight to open up the closure around the neck, but also you want to buy yourself time by like introducing a shoulder to the choke, and you do that by lowering your arm. So like that's why like when you see people trying to finish anacondas, they're always like pulling the arm up. I'm using my legs to like grab his arm up, so I don't have to use my arms to try to finish the anaconda. And then Frank's goal is to try to bring it down so that the shoulder gets in the way. So that's anaconda. Put me in first. So let's say you guys are rolling and rolling and rolling, and you guys get to the Darce right here. Feel free to just turn wherever to get in front of you. In order to get out of the Darce, again, there's like, you can fight the hand, like, it's different because it's harder to fight the hand. There's really nothing to grab here. And so what we're going to do is we want to induce rotation, and also, again, get the shoulder to the equation. So similar to Anaconda, we have some ways to do this. One is to just like punch my shoulder in. And you can do this by like lowering your arm as well. And when I do that, I also want to turn into the mat right here. When I turn into the mat, I sort of expose the grip here, and I can fight that a little bit. Let's say it's like really, really tight. Even then, you can hear it in my voice, like I have just way more room to breathe. And you'll notice that like my chest is facing the same way as Frank's. And so the angle to finish is all wrong for him. And then from here, like you can also build base. If you do manage to break the grip, you can also go for like counters here. But once I break the grip, I generally, closure is gone and I can get out. So again, we're here, the Darce is coming on. I want to punch my shoulder through. You don't necessarily have to bring your arm downward. You can actually just like, kind of just like bring it through. And then you can hear it in my voice that it's definitely like less strangulation pressure. The way that you see me right now, where it's like Frank's chest is perpendicular to mine, so he's facing down into the mat, and then my chest is facing to the side. This is like an optimal finishing angle for the Darce. And so earlier I was talking about how if I face into the mat, both of our chests are facing downwards, and no, he no longer has an angle. We can do the same by facing the chest upwards. So I can punch my arm up and similarly achieve screwing up the ankle by rotating. So he'll have this, but there's really no choking pressure here. And then now I can start framing, getting my elbows inside, and the Darce is gone. So again, here, last one, I personally haven't hit this too many times, but Greg Jones does it. It's kind of an interesting counter. You'll take this elbow and you'll punch it outward here until his elbow's kind of like out on this like forearm hip, and he has a frame. So again, like the concept is he's kind of opening up his shoulder here to give himself like a little bit more room to breathe. And then what he'll do is he'll actually move his hips closer to Frank's hips and start throwing like a hook in here. And you can see like Frank's grip is already slipping, and if it slips out completely, you get a nice little back kick. But a lot of all of these escapes are just forms of, I'm going to get like some part of my, I'm going to get my shoulder back into the strangle, so it gives me a little bit more time, and then I'm sort of generating rotation and also messing up their grip, getting rid of closure. So again, what we're doing is we're getting the shoulder into the equation, and then I'm starting to generate rotation and screw with the closure. Same thing with the other one. I'm also going upward, generating rotation. Yeah. And that's why my friend wants to control rotation. So like he has maybe a lot of pressure into me. Yeah. And that's why like getting my leg caught up like this is a bad thing, because it's tough for me to now move the rest of my body. If someone ever catches my leg and I haven't been finished yet, I'm definitely thinking about opening it up by like getting the shoulder in, and then now I'm like kind of using my legs and hands to try and get rid of that. And then look to rotate my body and get the right hand. So let's work on that. Anaconda escapes, Darce escapes. Any questions?
That Craig Jones one, do you think that really works? Like, does this link in his help? Or?
I don't know. You can try it. Like, ask your partner to put very, very, I don't know, let's try it. So Frank's really tight here. Like, this is only gonna buy me some time. Like, can you choke me, Frank?
I feel a lot of pressure on my hands.
Oh, that's
Just opening your shoulder like that.
Yeah.
Like enlarging your
Yeah.
profile.
So like here, if I go down, the shoulder comes up a little. If I punch up like this, it kind of just opens this area up. Yeah. So in a way, it's just like it's messing up the closure, because Frank wants his elbow. He just wants everything tight here. If I open it up, it buys time. I don't know about the back take. Like, I feel like it's interesting, but for sure, just like shooting through. You can hear it in my voice.
What do you think about Darce and somebody without that leg? Can you get it, or are they just going to spread out? Can you control their turn?
I feel like as long as like the person's like, because sometimes it hurts so much,
Yeah.
and they just stop moving. But I actually had Darce yesterday. I couldn't figure out why. Then I realized like my leg was shot because I couldn't.
I know people sometimes track the body, so like I don't want to talk too hard, but it's like here, and then I get them on to their side, and then they start to go to their back, and then similar to like a guillotine, they'll step here. I'll step here, and then basically like it becomes like a mounted Darce, and I just like, yeah.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
Well, you don't transition to a guillotine to the palm.
No, if I have